and welcome back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm here with a pick a card reading for you. Welcome to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all of your beautiful, kind messages to me under my readings. A special thank you to everybody on Instagram who has wished me a happy birthday on the 6th. So thank you guys so much for your beautiful birthday messages. I had a beautiful time with my family. And a big welcome to anybody who has just stumbled across the channel for the first time. We do pick a card readings on this channel, so please pull up and get cozy. We're going to have a little chat because we're all friends when we gather around my table. For today's pick a card topic, we're looking at your future spouse. Who are you going to marry? Who are you going to make a commitment to? Who are you going to build a life with? We do have 3 piles to choose from here today. Pile number 1 with the 9 of Cups. Pile number 2 with the 2 of Cups. And pile number 3 here with the King of Wands. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be messages waiting from Spirit today, and my timestamps are listed below as always. I'm going to jump into pile number 1. Again, today it's all about who are you going to marry, who is going to be your future spouse. Pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn to the little dark red rose, and you were drawn to the 9 of Cups, and this is your reading. Who are you going to marry? Now, when I look at this card, I can see that her hand is on her hips. She's got this big... I can hear my birds going crazy in the other room. She's got this great big collar around her neck. So maybe you feel like you've been stifled in your ability to achieve your goals here. Maybe you feel like you've been kept waiting from the desires of your heart. This card, though, talks about the wishes, the desires that you have in association with your person. It talks about achieving something that's abundant, achieving the desires of our heart. So this could be a very good sign for you. But you could also feel like it's being held back from you in some way. Like you might feel like it's eluded you up to this point, and you're like, where are you? Where are you? I just lost this card here on the floor. It's the 6 of Cups. Who are you going to marry, please? And you may have your heart set upon a specific person. There may be sort of this expectation for someone watching about a specific person that you have desires towards. We have the 8 of Wands. We have the Empress. We also have the High Priestess coming out as well. And I can hear the word trust. I can hear that your higher self is asking you for trust. They're talking about something that's being alchemized for you right now. They're showing me a cauldron. It's like there's a spell being woven, or there's something that's happening, but it's like we're collecting all of the ingredients that are necessary to achieve the goals here for you. We do have the Knight of Swords, and we have the 2 of Cups, which is beautiful. The 2 of Cups here, relationships forming. We have the 5 of Cups as well, with the Emperor underneath, Hemlock. Now, there is this aspect of Aries energy. So maybe there's an Aries from the past that you really have a strong connection to, or a fire element who you have a really strong connection to. They're asking you for flexibility when it comes to who you think this person's going to be. Because for someone watching, you have a very specific idea. It's like you have your heart set upon one outcome, one person, one situation. And Spirit says that it may not exactly come out the exact way that you think it's going to come, because they want flexibility with your expectations here. They want you to explore some options when it comes to what you think is coming in for you, or who you think is coming in for you. I feel like you have an air energy that might be coming in for you, and Spirit says they're on their way. This Knight of Swords is supposed to be on horseback. He's supposed to be moving, but right now he's having a sitz bath. He's resting. He's easing something. And this is almost advice for you to cool your jets a little bit. They're asking you to not jump to conclusions, and instead to know that there's something that's being prepared for you. But they're also understanding that this message might feel really disappointing, especially if you have your heart set upon one person from your past. This 6 of Cups in the reverse position is telling me that it may be unrealistic for you to hope for that specific person. But this person was very intentional in your human experience, because they were the prompt or the trigger to get you to this next shore. They were supposed to be a part of your experience. Spirit is not trying to deny the connection you feel. However, they're saying that they're trying to propel you forward, and they understand that this message might sting a little bit, might burn a little bit. They're showing me the garlic. It might burn a little bit. But what they're trying to do, they're trying to gently gently bring you back on course to what is your destiny, because the beautiful Empress is here in the center. And I know you feel like you've been being kept waiting, but that's because this connection may have fallen short or may fall short of your expectations if it did come into fruition. It's like we're holding a very special light on something or someone from the past. And the truth is that there's been evolution, there's been movement, there's been growth. This might not be the same person that you remember from the past. So they are indicating a brand new energy coming in for you. And they also understand that it might require some adjustment to your focus, and you might be frustrated with the message in this present moment. There's the Page of Pentacles with the Nine of Wands reversed. It's like the information stresses us out to think that we've been holding on to this for so long, and that might not be the person. And maybe we've been holding on for so long because we have this message from our higher self. It's like, that's my person, that's your person. But Spirit's here to kind of adjust that message. It's like, I'm sitting upon an ancient wisdom code. I'm sitting upon information I know to be true. So they want you to rest upon your conclusion that you're jumping to, because it's actually limiting you in this moment. They keep talking about out of the frying pan and into the fire if we keep our focus in that realm, in the past. What I love about the energy of who you're going to marry is it's a very protective element. It's going, if we have garlic raw over here, that's ginger, but if we associate it to garlic, because ginger raw is very sharp and it burns, we have a cooked garlic energy over here. So we have sweeter results that await for you. We have the Page of Swords. There's a strong element towards schooling in the past. It's like you could be holding on to the expectation of someone from your past from school days. Could be a fire sign, as I said, Aries. Could be Leo, Sagittarius. But they're talking about that being a codependent energy at this time. And now your higher self is saying, because we're kind of addicted to that codependent expectation, it's time for us to make a bit of adjustment. And they're saying, we understand that that stings. That's why they're saying, you know, your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, your root chakra is affected by this message. And so they're asking, they're offering healing. They're offering solace to you in this moment. Yeah, because it's like they feel like they're disappointing you with this message, and they don't want to disappoint you. They want to empower you. They want you to know that you're actually going to go towards the desires of your heart, but that it just requires that minute adjustment. That what you're experiencing in your commitment cycle is not going to pale in comparison to this. It's going to rise above what you thought that actually created in your life. It's going to rise above it, because there's the Nine of Cups again. So don't fear or don't fret what this message is bringing, because it's actually bringing you back into balance. The person that's coming forward towards you is a very hard worker. This is somebody who is going to be, you know, if you're the divine feminine, or it doesn't matter, divine feminine, divine masculine, this is going to be the person that you have children with, if that's one of your goals as well. You're going to build a life together. I feel like somebody's actually going to build a house with this person. Like you might actually build your dream home with this person too. And the thing is that this person sacrifices for you. This is the type of person that will be okay if you want to stay home with children. If you're the divine feminine or the divine masculine and you want to be at home with the children, they're going to be okay with staying out in the work realm and working really hard. Very protective. I'm even getting the sense for someone of an army connection or some type of military connection to this person from the past, which really speaks to their work ethic and to their focus and their ability to, you know, maintain a clean space. This is just a really traditional type of person coming in here. And again, it doesn't pale in comparison, because you fall deeply for this person. Your heart space becomes completely enmeshed here, and there's your Wheel of Fortune. You realize with this person what a good stroke of luck that you've achieved. It's like you feel lucky throughout the commitment. When you start to commit, especially within family energies, you feel super, super lucky that this has been a turn of events in your favor. Like this feels like serendipity. And you feel like you were kept waiting for this person and waiting for, like, literally your perfect person coming in. You're going to build a foundation with them. They're talking about bringing you to a benchmark of clarity over the situation in the past as well. And this is the type of person as well that is kind of a workaholic. They are a boss of some kind. They may not be an entrepreneur. I don't necessarily feel like they're an entrepreneur, but they are a boss energy. Like they are in charge in their career. They have some type of leadership role. And I feel like they're a creative person, but the way that they are creative is different. It's like it may not come in the form of like artistic talent, but they're a very creative person. They may be able to fix a lot of things. You know, it's like somebody who's just able to fix everything, or someone who can come up with a solution when something is broken that maybe doesn't it goes against the grain in some way. They're just a very capable person, and they want you to be flexible with it, because even in here it's the wild strawberry. And the wild strawberry is about redirecting our focus, going in and tapping into the infinite possibilities that are waiting for you, and not just operating off of what we've experienced and thinking that that is where our future lies, because it's something completely different. It's like permanent change coming in for you, but also along, again, a double mission, because along with that permanent change is a complete perspective shift on those old applications of force, on those holds that you had from the past energy, from someone that you had in your past. This person that you're going to be marrying, they will do without if they have to, if it means giving to you and giving to the family, because they're a very family-oriented person. Who will you marry, please? I do feel a lot of fire energy with this person, Aries specifically. Of course, this is a collective reading, so that may shift dependent on your situation. But it feels like forever too. They just showed me the honey and how it never goes bad. I feel like you'll be with this person for forever. We have the dark man. Dealings in relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair, and somebody maybe a little bit older than the divine feminine. So if you're the divine feminine and you're going toward the divine masculine energy, the partner that you're going to have come in for you may be a little bit older than you. But opportunities are waiting for you. There are doors opening up for you. So it's not somebody from your past, but you may have been holding on to that expectation. We have here chains of events that will affect your life. They are talking about the internet playing a very powerful role in communication cycles with this person. And spiritual love, Lily. And that's the thing that Spirit says your perspective is going to shift very, very strongly. There's younger woman, dealings in relationship with a younger woman. For someone watching, the age gap could be significant enough that it raises a few eyebrows. Not for everyone, but significant enough that it raises a few eyebrows. But what's really interesting is about the shift that Spirit sees for you about your perspective on this soulmate energy. You might shift and think differently once you meet this person. Of like, whoa, that wasn't my soulmate. You're obviously my soulmate. But I feel like there could be a bit of an age gap here that Spirit wants you to anticipate too. But that's where all of that like sacrificial energy comes from, experience comes from. And you actually moving into a relationship that fulfills the desires of your heart. No longer is her hand on her hip waiting for it. She's got her arms crossed. She's feeling smug now. She's feeling secure in her position. A soft place to land. We have healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. I do sometimes get the aspect of like divorces or things like that. So you may have come from like a divorced family in the past when you were a child. This person is going to heal. There's like some type of karmic or release, like familial release. It's like we're breaking within the dynamics of this connection, within the dynamics of the family and the life that you're going to build. You guys are breaking generational curses. You're applying new force towards children, towards each other that maybe you didn't see or was not modeled to you in the past when you were a child. You're breaking familial curses together. We also have here heart-to-heart conversations are needed. Honestly, discuss your feelings with each other. This will be the type of person that does clam up a little bit when they are emotional. They look at it as a bit of a weakness. We have free yourself. It is time now to take back control of your life. And Spirit is here to gently offer you a new perspective on the hold that you have from the past, that you are what was special about that connection. You are the rarity in that connection. And the truth is that if this person didn't see that rarity and hasn't come forward to approach this beautiful unicorn, then it's time for you to free yourself from that tether. Back of the deck says, forgiving and learning. I also saw forgive, separation, poking out, time apart from your partners on the horizon. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. I love that for you. But also about perhaps a bit of a long distance for someone watching. Again, not for everyone, but because it might start online, there could be a bit of a distance issue here. But nothing insurmountable. And Spirit's super excited about the momentum that's coming in for you. Your family goals, they're going to come into fruition. There's such a beautiful It's like, but they're talking about options. Spirit doesn't want you to think that they're trying to throw you under the bus if you don't want children. They're saying whatever your goals are, this person will help you build that. We have here pulsing, slow down, time and nature. I feel like there's also, I just heard camping. This person perhaps is a very outdoorsy type of person too. And trust in the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Timing is not running out. If you felt like your hand is on your hip and you're like, when's it my turn? Where is my person? Spirit says, trust in the timing. It's being created for you. There's a cauldron that's brewing for you. We're just collecting the ingredients. And there's that double mission. Light worker, starseed, and serve the world by being you. This situation is creating a double mission. Not only the desires of your heart coming in, but it's combating some old attachments that we are now releasing. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 1. In the charm bowl today, what do we have? The Page of Cups. I feel like your emotions for this person are going to pop up out of nowhere. It's like maybe you won't be 100% sure when you kind of start in on this connection, but it's like it's going to pop up unexpectedly for you. And even the relationship itself is going to pop up unexpectedly for you in the midst of holding on to something from the past. But now the Nine of Wands is reversed, and there's like this freedom of like, I'm starting to get tired of holding these wands. I'm starting to get exhausted. It's time to let go. And the Four of Pentacles is you building that life. But also a little bit of the uncertainty with your heart space about, should I open up my heart space here? Because I've had my heart space dedicated to something else for such a long time. We have the chain. It keeps coming out, the chain of events. We have a space between. We have K and Z. I do feel like there could be a bit of a distance between you and this person. We do have a little boy. Could be children that come in. We also have, or somebody from your past in childhood. We have the 2 hearts linked up, and we do have the rib cage. I think of the 8 of Swords, of like holding our heart space back. There's something that we're holding back from because, or we're keeping our emotions limited, or keeping ourselves limited because of a hold from the past. But we also have healing for the Divine Masculine or for the Divine Feminine. The double mission applies to your person too, because you're going to give them a soft place to land. You're going to give them a new perspective on some of the issues that they dealt with their parents. We do have the Divine Feminine and more that's going to be revealed, and we have all of the honey cells that are filled up, all of the honey cells for the Divine Feminine, all of your dreams coming true. All of your wishes in relation to love and commitment cycles will come in. Just the slight adjustment to who's going to be standing beside you. Pile 1 is what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. I'm praying for you always. Your guides have given you some indication of what to expect, but they're going to walk with you no matter what path you choose. If you would like to be entered in for a chance to win a free reading with me, be sure to drop your comment below. I do offer a chance to win a free reading monthly for my subscribers as a way of a thank you for your presence and your friendship here on this channel. So be sure to drop your comment below if you're interested in that, and be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can notify you if you're chosen the winner. You can also check out my link below for Etsy for a personal reading. That link is below as well. But I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the little pink rose, and you were drawn to the 2 of Cups, and this is your reading. Who are you going to marry? Now, the 2 of Cups here in this case, you can see these two, they look like twins, like twin flame energies, and there's a really strong emphasis on passion in this situation, and how it's going to be perhaps passion that unites, passion that really solidifies things. Like the road perhaps to this connection is passionate energy, but also like deep connection on some type of spiritual level, but we might access it through passion for at least one of you. But there's just such a sense of we belong together. It's like finishing each other's sentences, and just we like all the same things. They're showing me that scene in Step Brothers where the 2 men are like, name your favorite dinosaur, and they're Velociraptor. Like it's like the same things. We have so many things in common with this person, and there's definitely a mutual physical attraction that I feel like could spearhead this relationship. So you may be in a relationship right now, and if it sort of sounds like that, if it's very passionate, if you guys are getting on very, very well, perhaps this is an indicator of what's coming in for you. So let's take a look here. We're going to use the Alice in Wonderland Tarot for you. Who is pile 2 going to marry, please? we have the Ten of Pentacles. So this is a beautiful commitment. I love the first position card for me as a reader. It tells me a lot about where you're headed, but about the steps, following the steps and the experiences that we might have to go through to attain that position. So here's the Three of Cups. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have commitment to start out the reading, and then we have the Three of Cups, which is just having fun. We're going out. This person may be very different from you. Again, not that you guys are physically the same, but you're like, you mirror each other very closely, but you may be very culturally different. You may have a lot of differences, you know, when it comes to, you know, where you grew up and things like that. But it doesn't mean that the connection is affected. But there's just a lot of fun with the Three of Cups. We're going out, we're having fun, we're getting to know each other. It's very light. We have the Hierophant. And it's going to be through this aspect that we gain all of the abundance. It's going to be through the fun, the enjoyment, the joy that we experience, levity, happiness, that we're going to achieve the desires of our heart. There will be a physical commitment here. We have the Six of Pentacles. For someone watching this, could have happened, like it could have been spearheaded or ignited or will be ignited in school or at work. There's also a heavy communication cycle that I'm feeling coming in. Here's the Five of Wands. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. And there's this message about, you know, the collective especially will apply a lot of negative emotion towards a lot of passion in a relationship preemptively, especially before commitment cycles, because we have this idea that, you know, passion comes after commitment, perhaps. We have the Judgment and we have the Six of Swords. I get this impression that if you are already in a relationship where it's very focused on passion, there might be some regrets around that of like, did I jump the gun? Did I give the wrong impression? Have I now established this connection as a failure because I went too far too fast? There's just this momentum around passion between the two of you. But Spirit says actually the passion here might be the vessel. They're saying there's this feeling of like it's too late. We've already kind of jumped the gun, and maybe we've already been passionate with each other. And there might be some kind of remorse coming in after that of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have jumped the gun. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have waited. But the truth is that that could be the vessel that's coming in. You can see here that this big rose of empowerment, it's the Five of Wands, but this huge rose of empowerment is a huge yes for me of like movement, momentum. And so they're talking about, you know, the uncertainty of this path that we've taken to achieve our goals, wondering if it's the turn of events in our favor or whether or not we're just going to be running in circles. Because I'm getting that message of, and it's so crude, but they're saying, you know, why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? But the truth is that this is a vessel towards more. And that is such an outdated way of thinking. Such an outdated way of thinking. We're the divine feminine, the divine masculine, we're taking back our sexuality. We're taking back our power, our initiative there. And the truth is that all paths are leading you home anyway. So they might as well have fun with it. It's going to be through the passion and the fun that you have that is going to be the education. It's like you're getting to know each other on the most intimate level, perhaps. And that's going to be setting such a strong foundation for you of trust and security. We have the Temperance. We have the Judgment. Now there's an emphasis on taking our time and having fun with it and just not embracing, not necessarily creating the commitment as the outcome, although it's going to be the outcome, not necessarily creating that, but just taking our time with it, having joy in the journey. There's the Five of Swords with the Hierophant. There's the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like there is somebody in this connection at the beginning of the connection that feels uncertain about commitment cycles. There's like conflict there, and it's because of self-protection. It's like somebody who's gaslighting a really good opportunity, gaslighting themselves because they're trying to keep themselves in some type of safe realm. We have the Queen of Swords. We also have the Nine of Wands. And there's the Two of Wands. You may already be in a relationship with someone, or you may have started the process of this, pile two. You don't have to if you haven't met them yet. They're coming in for you, of course, but they are still, again, emphasizing having fun. They're talking about worrying that we're spending too much time in the fire realm and not enough time focusing on the commitment cycles. But they keep talking about this fire realm being the vessel of movement, being the vessel of more, and how we can use that realm to make the plans that we want to make. Because ultimately, this person that's coming in for you, I feel is very reliable. This is a good person. This is a reliable person. I feel like they could be very shy, or they could be very, maybe not even physically shy, but emotionally shy, like afraid to express from their heart space. And that could be because they come from like a conflict in their own life. They could come from divorced parents, for instance. So they just have a bit of uncertainty when it comes to what that type of foundation looks like in abundance. They just don't have the information available to them. They just didn't have that example set for them to set that positive foundation. So they're a little bit gun shy when it comes to commitment cycles right away, but they're still a very reliable person. They will text you when they say they're going to text you. They're going to call you. They're going to pick you up on time. This is a very reliable person. I do feel like this person could work a trade for somebody watching. They could be somebody who works with their hands, with like a mechanic, or they could be a carpenter, or just some type of trade, perhaps plumbing, bricklaying, something like that. Just something very physical, and they work hard at it. And I feel like they've been doing it since they were young. Like they perhaps started doing this when they were like a teenager, and they're still doing it because they're good at it. They found their path. They found it early. I also feel like that makes them feel a little bit insecure because they don't sit behind a desk and they don't wear a suit to work, and that makes them feel self-conscious about what they provide. But the truth is that doesn't matter because they're still a provider, and that's what Spirit's saying. Let's get some more information about this person. There's a beautiful collaboration here, and it's a beautiful collaboration for both of you. Not only are you going to help this person, become more comfortable with commitment cycles, but they're also going to help you become a little bit more comfortable with just having a little bit of fun and enjoying the process. I do feel like this person could be they could have a different religion than you, or a different culture. They could be a different race, but you mesh perfectly together. And they are actually, it's like if you guys have both been chasing your tails in love, if you've both experienced negative aspects, this is the turn of events in both of your favors. It's the waves of emotion that the Divine Feminine might feel that could affect the joy that she finds in that journey. We have the Magician. Can you tell me about this person? And although this person isn't like a boss, they're some type of they're like a trainer, or they're like, people rely on them. They look to them for advice. And ultimately, there is this power and control surrounding the commitment cycle. Again, a very loyal person, but perhaps not having loyalty shown to them in the past. This will end in a commitment cycle that is full-fledged commitments. We're going to be signing paperwork. There could be children involved in this future situation as well. We have the Eight of Cups. And they're talking about the worst being behind you when it comes to surmounting any previous challenges. So if you're already in a relationship that sounds like this, the worst may be behind you when it comes to delays, when it comes to the wait. And the truth is that this situation is going to empower you. The realm that the two of you build together, the home that you build, the relationship that you build, the family that you build is going to help your Divine Masculine energy specifically overcome and call back energy from past situations that have made them feel insecure, made them fearful of commitment cycles. We have the Knight of Wands, we have the Ten of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. There's a very strong earth element with this person, so they could be a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. There's also a fire element coming in as well, in the form of Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Now this Judgment, the Queen of Swords, it says, I'm late for a very important date. There's this feeling around judging ourselves, judging the relationship too harshly sometimes too. And perhaps you've been waiting for this person to show up in your life as well. And if you have been waiting, Spirit says the wait is almost over. You've made it to the nines. We've made it to the independent push. And now they're going to be moving you into the community cycles. So your patience is going to be, maybe has been testing you, but it's going to be rewarded. Can you tell me about this person, please? What I love about this is that it feels like this person is your best friend. The life that you build together, you guys rely on each other. You heavily lean on one another. This is your best friend. And again, the passion that you feel is a physical reminder of this deeper cellular connection, this deeper spiritual connection that you have. And that's going to continue. It's like a very passionate relationship, but you guys become best friends. It's like you can rely on them, they can rely on you. I feel really a strong comfort around, you know, being physical with each other, your bodies. We have the Four of Cups, and we have the Two of Swords with the Queen of Swords. I feel like this person is a workaholic, and they may work away from home if they are a part of a trade as well. That could be where some of conflict could come in, or feeling overlooked as well. They could work away from home or have to work away in some type of trade. I even feel like there could be a transportation type of job that this person would, that somebody that is watching, that this person could be working within, because I feel like there could be an aspect with their career or their job that takes them away from the home quite a bit, which could create a little bit of frustration for you. It's like a little bit of frustration. But this will be obstacles that the two of you will be able to transition through. We have here rabbit, too much concern with sexual matters. So there is definitely a lot of physical attraction at the beginning of this connection, and a lot of physical action between the two of you. And I feel like that brings up concerns. That brings up fear for the Divine Feminine. It's like she worries about that. But Spirit's not worried about it. We have lightning. Control your anger, you'll be sorry. There could come a point where this person does, again, I feel like they clam up a little bit with their emotion. I also feel like it could be the Divine Feminine who could have a bit of an temper sometimes too. And there's a recognition that the temper could kind of rise when we're feeling insecure, and that we may extrapolate that onto our partner. Protection from a powerful friend. And there's friendship here. Like ultimately there's protection, there's reliability, pineapple, reconciliation, but I think of very physical energy with the pineapple as well. And it's like we've always known each other. There's a deep sense of spiritual connection here too, which is why perhaps we feel comfortable moving into a very physical relationship right away. Guaranteed success, the Star of Aquarius. And that's what Spirit sees. They see celebration. They see reasons to celebrate as well. It says here, forces working against you, the axe. And it says unsettled times and need to plan ahead, the kangaroo. Now, I just got one message for someone very specific, waiting that there could, like, children will be a factor perhaps, and for someone, an unplanned child can be a factor in the very sort of, not too early. I don't feel like it's going to come in too early, but an unplanned child could kind of pop up out of the blue, which could then kind of accelerate things towards commitments. But that's not for everyone, so Spirit just wants to make that clear. Who are you going to marry? Pile number 2. There's destiny here, Spirit says. And all you have to do is have fun. All you have to do is find joy in the journey. We have here earthed. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. There will be times, because this person is destined for you, there is conflict built into the experience. So sometimes the two of you will trigger each other. And the way that you'll trigger each other is through self-preservation. So when you argue, it's like for me and my husband, if we have an argument, we both want to be right. And sometimes we prioritize being right over the emotional connection that we feel. So they're talking about that, about learning how to navigate through obstacles together. We also have here trust in the timing. Timing's not running out for you. And back of the deck says, fall into my arms, surrender, hold the opposites and extreme to life. And they want you to surrender to what's going to happen. They want you to fall into the experience. And if you have this, if you're in a very fiery connection, and maybe in the past you wanted to wait before that fire evolved, Spirit says it's time to hold the opposite of extremes. It's time for us to apply a new force that we didn't apply in the past. And no doubt you will revel in those results. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 2. What can you tell me about who pile 2 is going to marry? We have here the Chariot, the Magician, the 8 of Swords. Now the Magician and the 8 of Swords are reversed, and the Chariot's talking about momentum, movement, travel. They're also, and again, I feel like there could be a travel aspect to this person's career in some way as well, which could limit some of the communication that they're able to, like while they're working, they may not be able to communicate with you in some type of way as well. They're also talking about not letting any energies go to waste, not letting opportunities go to waste, and not letting your own limited fears or other fears and other opinions and expectations from other people stop you from contributing or stopping you from adding yourself to this equation. In the bowl today, we have the black dress for mourning, letting go. We have V, X, F, the, T, and G. We have I will, and we have Leo energy. We also have here the 10 of Swords, limiting our expectation and a refocusing for the Divine Feminine. When we see the 10 of Swords in reverse, I think about recalibrating our plans. It's like if we've applied one certain focus or expectation, maybe it's time to apply a new force to this new chapter of your life and into your love life. And there's an aspect here of thinking very highly of you and them supporting you during a grief period as well. Pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. I'm praying for you. Your guides have given you an outline of who you will marry, but they're going to walk with you no matter what path you choose. So I hope that you have a beautiful day. If you are interested in dropping a comment below for your chance to win a free reading, be sure to do that and be sure to hit your notification bell. You can also check out my link below for Etsy as well. But I hope that you come back here and visit me at another day at the Tarot Cottage. Hello, pile number 3. You are drawn to the dark red rose and to the King of Wands, and this is your reading. Who are you going to marry? Who are you going to build a life with? Now, the King of Wands here is actually a queen. If you look really closely, this deck has multiple kings, queens, and then it has female versions of the kings as well, which is lovely. She has her hair kind of built up like Princess Leia in the present moment. I do feel a very strong Divine Feminine and Divine Feminine energy together here. That's not going to relate to everyone, but this is also relating to Divine Masculine energy too. So it doesn't have to resonate with you of a feminine energy, because I'm also getting feminine and masculine energy as well, but that could resonate with you. There's a lot of fire energy here, so Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, but there's this aspect about power and entrepreneurship and focus and travel and just a lot of excitement surrounding this person, a lot of possibilities, a very creative person perhaps as well. But I keep getting a message surrounding Princess Leia's hair for some reason. So that could be significant to Star Wars. Again, there's an aspect of the Divine Feminine and the Divine Feminine as well, like in a collaboration. So let's take a look here and see. Who are you going to marry, pile number 3? Who are you going to build a life with? We have Strength, Wheel of Fortune, 5 of Cups coming out first. We'll keep those together. Who will you marry, please? We've got a lot going on here. Temperance, 6 of Cups, the Devil. I'm getting a bit of a similar vibe to pile number 1, actually. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the 2 of Swords coming out as well with the Queen of Cups. Could be a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. There is somebody coming forward here that is trying to, Spirit says they're going to utilize this person's energy to try to steer your focus away from something in the past or someone from the past. We have the King of Cups, because they really want you to be looking on the horizon and not in the background for this person, because they're trying to make an announcement. And now this future position card is not necessarily about your future partner. This is about Spirit preparing you for the next chapter. We have the Lovers and we have the King of Pentacles. Now, this Lovers energy, you can see a big rattlesnake here in the center of this card, and there's a lot of being on attention and feeling afraid and being kind of guarded a little bit about maybe the message that's coming in. And even here at the bull, it's like when I think of the nose ring, I think about the bull dragging the bull, or the bulldog dragging the bull where we want to take it. So Spirit's trying to refocus you. They're trying to kind of drag you to the position, to the focus that you need to be in order to prepare yourself and align yourself with this frequency. Because they're trying to bring the desires of your heart in. And you may have felt like you're being kept waiting for those desires. But Spirit's here to gently say we may have kept ourselves waiting a little bit for this movement. Because they're asking us to refocus and find solutions to something that's monopolizing all of our energy right now. So a person, a place, or thing from the past, there's a lot of remembrance with the Six of Cups, but a codependency associated with that person. It's like I have heart eyes on, I have rose-colored glasses on when it comes to someone from my past, and that's who I want. But Spirit's here to kind of defy that a little bit. Who are you going to marry? Because they say that we may be using something as a crutch, and it's time for us to let go of the crutch. It's time for us to release that so that we can be empowered, so that we can actually go into something abundant. And there's like a fear. It's almost like they're showing this woman is she's got a mask on, but they actually showed me a horse. And you know how they will blind a horse to get it to be led anywhere? It's like they blind the horse in order to get them in motion, in order to get them away from whatever is scaring them. Because if they can't see it, they can't be afraid of it. Yeah, they're trying to cast a light, they're trying to cast awareness and the full spectrum on something that has had our focus in a karmic wheel for too long. And they're calling it like a death circle. Because they are trying to inspire and initiate change. Because the desires of your heart are at the end of that rainbow, not at the beginning of that rainbow. And they want to remind you that even in these connections that we feel very strongly attached to, that we don't want to release, that there's a full spectrum available to us, that there's no actual separation between any of us in the human experience. It's all about the practical realm that makes us convinced that there's a separation. We will all return to source. We'll all return to each other. We're all just walking each other home. Knight of Cups. They feel a water energy coming in for you. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And this is like a very good looking person. Like this is a good looking person. It can be the feminine or the masculine. It doesn't matter, whatever you are attracted to. But somebody who's coming forward with like, they say all the right things. They have all the right moves. They know how to get our focus. They know how to attract us. There's something very, I almost feel like there's blue eyes for somebody waiting for you. Like really enigmatic, like river bottom eyes, so to speak. And it's the announcement that Spirits is saying it's time to look on the horizon. It's time to let a ship sail so that we can move forward. This person's very emotional, I feel. Sometimes they hide it well. We have the Hanged Man. Back of the deck is the Five of Cups. And we have the Two of Pentacles. So there is this aspect about movement. I feel like there could be about a 2-year time frame for somebody watching about movement in your love realm. But they're also talking about this Five of Cups, this Five of Cups. This is what we have to look at from a different angle, the loss energy. And if we can attract, if we can start to move ourselves into an awareness of solutions over these past attachments, that's when the new relationship is going to form for us. So it's like we're keeping ourselves waiting a little bit for this outcome that's coming in for us. There's very strong Gemini energy here as well. This person that's coming in for you as your future partner has lost somebody important to them in their life in the past, like in a sort of maybe a death situation. They've lost somebody very important to them. It's made them a more emotional person. You have the Moon. They could be a Scorpio. I will say that the loss that they've experienced in the past has made them fearful of change a little bit. You have the King of Wands. Again, the fire energy, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius for some. For others, it could be a water energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is also somebody who's spiritual, Spirit says. They're a very spiritual person, very intuitive person. If they haven't completely scratched the surface of that, they're very, and they may have had a foundation in religion, but they may have walked away from religion. So they may have had a foundation in religion in their childhood, but they've walked away from that. They're a very spiritually driven type of person as well. And they let that guide them. I also feel like they love to travel. I feel like you're going to be traveling with this person. Air travel. And I just heard they dream of flying. Like in it's like they want to fly a plane. Maybe they are a pilot of some kind. Obviously, maybe not of like a huge airline or something, but like a private plane or something. Like they might be a pilot, or they might have flown before, or they have dreams of that because they want to navigate. It's like they have that in their past life energy. It's almost like they were a naval officer or something in a past life, and now they brought this desire for movement and travel with them. They like to travel, but they like air travel specifically. We have the Death energy, and we have the Empress. Now you can see that the Empress here is heavily pregnant, which is beautiful. So there could be an aspect of children in your future and commitment cycles of that kind as well. They're talking here about momentum that will be created until death. So I feel like this could be a very long-standing connection for you as well, a long-standing marriage. They are especially talking though about the death cycle affecting this person specifically. So they may have again been touched by a tragedy or something in their past as well. So Spirit just wants you aware of that so that this sensitivity or the empathy can be there. Who are you going to marry, please? And they're also, Spirit's asking you to surrender to what's going to be revealed to you. If you haven't met this person yet, if you feel like you've been kept waiting, more is coming. Don't use the past as an indicator of what is coming in for you. That's why they're covering up your eyes, asking you to just keep moving forward so that you're not afraid of what's coming in the unknown. We have heartache over what you no longer have. Again, attachments from the past that could be impeding our focus, but also some heartbreak for this person about what they've lost. We have period of ill health and depression, but good luck on our side. A very emotional person here at the King of Cups. Vulnerable. So they may have, after their period of loss, they may have gone through a period of depression. You may find that this is mirrored to your experience that you have shared in your life. We have younger woman coming out. This person could be a younger woman, as I said, with the King of Wands here, although she is a queen. And again, Princess Leia hair. It's like this aspect of like some people in the world thinking that, you know, we don't belong together or something of that nature, but that's not the case. It says you will be playing a different role, the hat. Well, and on the floor we have a chain of events that will affect your life. I always get the internet impression here. So this could start online. There could be a little bit of a distance between the two of you, which could create some of the travel necessity here as well. And we have pay attention to your health, the cane. We also have here compliments from an admirer, a very generous person. The King of Cups often will come forward with flowers, with chocolates, with all of these beautiful physical representation. So this person's love language could be gift giving, you know, could be sort of doing things for you, but mostly like they give you things. It's like somebody who's very hands-on. There'll be someone who would massage you for a love language, or give you flowers, for instance, as well. We have here waiting for news, package, or letter, the bird perched. And that's what Spirit says that you may be kind of feeling in the present moment when it comes to your love cycles and your commitment cycles. You may be waiting for news to show up, waiting for a movement from the universe to bring forward. I also feel like because there could be an online component to the beginnings of this relationship, it's like being on the edge of our seat waiting for news from this person. Who are you going to marry? Pile number 3. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. And there could be aspects where this person does kind of dig their heels in a little bit with the stubbornness of this King of Pentacles. That's where the nose ring comes in. Maybe we have to kind of drag them to our perspective. Or maybe that's you. Maybe some people have to drag you to their perspective. This connection is going to require, it's going to require the two of you overcoming conflicts together, because you're going to be building a life together. A time to give rather than to take. And they're very generous, more generous with you than they expect you to be with them. That's their love language, is like giving to you, giving to you. The answers that you need are coming. So if you've been waiting, they are emphasizing Gemini energy. So perhaps you're the Gemini. And if you have been uncertain, or you've allowed yourself to go down to a negative place emotionally about old people from the past or what's arriving for you in the present day, Spirit says your answers are coming. Just have faith. We have here meditate and contemplate so that you can clearly communicate to the universe what you expect in the unknown. tell me, please, about who pile 3 is going to marry? We have here the golden children, inner child tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. This could be the indication of children coming in your life as well. And a rare gift, they're talking about something spiritual, a spiritual gift that you may possess or that they may possess. This card has come out every single pile today. Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. And we have the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, and integration time. So they are indicating that this person is going to pop up into your life and things are going to evolve quickly. Things are going to transition quite quickly with this person. It's like this spontaneous change of like night and day. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. What else can you tell me about pile number 3's person that they are going to commit to or marry? Aquarius energy. Again, depression, I feel, coming in from this person, perhaps. A depression from the past that they have had to overcome, or a hurdle that they've had to overcome. There's this feeling of having to deal with something that was not fair in the past. So there could have been, again, a tragedy or a death that they experienced when they were young that has really shaped them as a person, made them very emotional, made them tap into spiritual elements. There is so much more that's going to be revealed to you. If you are the one who's gone through the depression cycle, if you felt like you're always competing with others to get the desires of your heart, more is coming in for you. It's time to redirect our focus to one of optimism. We have the sword. So crystal clear intentions, new initiative starts, new beginnings, communication. We have the hammer, persistence, working on it. The letter P and G and A, PGA. They could be a golfer, perhaps. They like to golf. We have the slow handsaw and the mini Mickey Mouse key. So they may have lost somebody as a child. It could have been somebody very important to their life. We have here the King of Cups, though. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And then we also have the 8 of Pentacles. I almost get like a teaching element with this person for their career. They could be some type of educator. It doesn't have to necessarily be in front of a classroom. They could be a trainer. They could teach through their career in some way. We also have here the World. I think about the internet. So internet could be a factor. Communication could be the beginnings of this connection. Or they could work in communications on the line as well. All right, pile number 3. That's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. Drop me a comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me. I would love to read for you. Also, be sure to hit your notification bell so that if you are chosen, I can notify you and we can get the ball rolling. You can also check out my link below for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. But I hope you come back in here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.